All right, guys, I am back with a brand new DC update. And boy, have the last 48 hours been a freaking whirlwind for DC fans. And you guys already know about the controversy. You can see my last 3 videos in regards to this. You'd have to go to my DC playlist and you'd have to see those 3 videos because YouTube honestly may not be pushing these videos out to everybody because plenty of people miss my videos because of the way the algorithm works now. They don't just show you in chronological order, which has been released. So you're going to have to go look for those 3 videos. You can go in and filter it by playlist and then see the videos in order there. And I encourage you to do that if you want to get filled in on everything. And I have been called some nasty things over the last 48 hours. A grifter, that I'm mentally ill. And people who come in and start saying I'm mentally ill and other stuff, you're getting deleted off of YouTube and off of Twitter. It's just going to happen. I'm not going to put up with it. I am not mentally ill. And here's the message I have to everybody. I'm going to show you a bombshell thing that was posted on Vero where it shows that Zack Snyder has not moved on. Okay, I'm going to show this to you here in a few minutes. But first of all, let's say that he is done and this is all finished. Let's just say hypothetically that has happened. For the people who are negative and attacking me and continue to make nasty comments, what does it matter to you what I post on my videos on YouTube? What does it matter to you that there's somebody like me that wants this universe to be restored and we want to see the end of the story? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a mental illness. It's just that people like me have been jerked around by this studio for too long and we're tired of this constant back and forth and we just want the story to be finished and then do whatever the heck you want. There's nothing wrong with us wanting that to happen. Okay? I'm still going to cover everything DC because that's what my channel is mostly about, but I review movies and TV shows and other stuff, and you guys should check that stuff out. I need the views on a lot of that stuff. I did a movie review this past week on the movie The Killer, which is something people should be checking out on Netflix. And it just amazes me at how some Snyder fans have gone after other Snyder fans. It's disheartening. And I tell people, you got to understand, you see my shirt, it says voiceover. I am a professional voice actor for a living. I actually have a job. It's what I do for a living. I am a professional actor. It's what I've been doing for the last 13 years. And so I understand this world better than most. It's the world I live in. And what you have to understand about stuff like what Zack Snyder has done and some of the stuff that's come out is stuff is taken out of context. And also, you have to watch what people say. You have to watch what they say. Zack Snyder has never come out and officially said he's done. All you have is that Hollywood Reporter article where the person claimed that he said that he has closed that chapter on his life, and he has. He has. There is zero chance at this stage, zero chance that Warner Brothers Discovery is ever going to restore the Snyderverse. The only way it will ever happen is if they get sold. And their stock is so low, the investors are only going to take so much before there could be a hostile takeover of that company, and they could be sold off somewhere else. Okay? The stock 2 years ago was $77, and now it's hovering around $10 a share. That's not good for the stakeholders. It's not good for anybody. Like, somebody needs to steer this ship. It is sinking, and it's sinking fast. I already posted the post the other day about how bad it really is and how Zaslav may not even get his bonus from when he signed on to take over Warner Brothers and named it Warner Brothers Discovery. But this isn't over, guys. I'm telling you right now, this isn't over. And people are starting to warm up to the fact and understanding that it's not over because of what's happened online. And I'm going to show you a post that was from Vero, and I was able to verify this. And before I show you this post, the post that I showed in the last video in regards to South Cali guy and this Torres guy, they both have come out and admitted they both believe that Zack Snyder is responding to the fact that Restore the Snyderverse is still a thing. Now, I've had Some people come in my comments and say, well, maybe he's doing that just to hold on to his fan base. And he doesn't need to do that. Zack Snyder already has his fan base, okay? His fan base is going to follow him everywhere. And that's the biggest portion of the people who claimed that he was over and that they're just going to focus on Rebel Moon. And that's fine. That's okay. There are people like me who have not moved on, and we're not going to. And it's because of stuff like what I'm talking about. And that has nothing to do with Zack Snyder or supporting him. I support this universe, and I want him to be able to finish his story. And it's really funny. So let's take a look at this photo. So this also comes from Vero, okay? And this is from Sirkin Kirkali. I don't know how you say his name, and I'm sorry if he sees this. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. But he posted this Warner Brothers thing, and this is from The Matrix, and it says, "You can't win. It's pointless to keep fighting. Why? Why do you persist?" And Neo says, "Because I choose to. Restore the Snyderverse, Zack Snyder, not moving on." To which Zack Snyder actually responded to this and said, yes. And someone said, "Thank you, boss. I'll fight for you and support you forever. Thank you." Guys, that came directly. I've seen it. It directly came from Zack Snyder himself, his account. And we need to talk about this. If Zack Snyder has truly moved on, he would not be responding to these comments on Vero. He would have nothing to do with the Snyderverse. He would be solely focused on Rebel Moon, which he should be at this stage. He has not moved on. He's not going to move on because, like he said at the Full Circle event, somebody tried to claim that because it's 9 months ago that made a difference, and it doesn't. 9 months ago, he specifically stated if they give him the chance and they let him do his story, he is going to complete it, and he hopes it gets completed. So no, he has not moved on. That article was a complete miscategorization of what is going on. Okay? It was funny when you get to that one paragraph in that article. It was funny that the most important information in this article, the one where you would want a definitive answer from Zack Snyder as to whether he was going to continue or not, that they would quote him directly, and they don't. They don't. And they could be pulling out information from stuff that happened years ago, like when he talked about doing The Dark Knight Rises. Or not The Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight Returns. That's from a podcast from years ago. So that little paragraph was manufactured to do a narrative. That's all it was. People could say I'm looking too much into it, whatever. That's not... I majored in art, animation, and writing in college. That isn't how this works, guys. It's not looking too much into it. It's a fact, first of all, that person lied in that article, or they're completely uninformed as regards to claiming that Superman killed Zod for the first time in cinematic history in Man of Steel, which is not the case. It happened in Superman 2 long before, decades before Man of Steel ever came out. So that person is either, again, I believe they're doing it to push a narrative. They're doing it just to push a narrative and trying to get people to move on to something else. It's not a good look when the writer does that. Okay, they're trying to forge their own narrative here, and this is why people don't trust media outlets. Okay? I'm not a media outlet, and I told you guys I'm going to get stuff wrong every once in a while, and I'll admit it if I'm wrong. But I'm sure I'm not wrong on this. He has not moved on. He's not going to move on. And why should we move on? If there's even a chance that we can get that story finished, we're going to keep fighting. And I'll keep posting about it. It's not going to stop. If that's a problem for you, there are plenty of other channels you can go to. But I'm still going to continue to bring you all the DC news on a daily basis, and we're going to continue to talk about these things. Now, there are a few other photos we're going to take a look at here, so I'm going to share those photos again, and we're going to look at something. So this is in regards to Christopher Nolan, and it says, Christopher Nolan says he believed Zack Snyder's Watchmen was ahead of its time. The idea of a superhero team, which is so brilliantly subverts, wasn't yet a thing in movies. it would have been fascinating to see it released post-Avengers. And that's also from the Hollywood Reporter. And that would be, it would be amazing to see that movie come out today. I think it would be much more well-received, because one of the big things people have issue with today is that the studios are not sticking to the source material. And that one stuck so close to the source material that it pissed a lot of people off. And so it's pretty crazy that, and I think of this, of all of Zack Snyder's movies, they were all ahead of their time. If Man of Steel came out today, it would be a much bigger hit than it was when it came out 10 years ago. I was one of those that was kind of on the fence, wasn't quite sure about it. Lukewarm reception. Now I love the movie. Like, the movie's amazing. I watched it today. It was ahead of its time. And so was Batman vs. Superman, the Ultimate Edition, and definitely Zack Snyder's Justice League. These were some incredible movies, and we got hosed by the studio. I am always going to keep it real here on my channel. I'm not going to flip-flop just because the studio asked me to or some people online asked me to. That is never going to happen. I will always toe the line. And it doesn't, what I do here does not affect anybody else's life. I'm sorry. If you are getting nasty at me because you have a problem with me having a channel, that's more your issue than it is mine. And I'm just not going to respond to a lot of these people who constantly nag me. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to respond to them anymore. There's no point. It's a waste of my time. I have my career to worry about, my family to worry about, and I have my YouTube channel to run. And so I'm going to continue to cover this stuff going forward. I do appreciate all the support. If you guys like the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up.